Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Afrina Shamanat and today I am going to teach you a very important topic, classification of bone tumors, and I will teach you about a few of the tumors. Classification of bone tumors. It is very important, short essay question frequently asked in exam. Cartilage forming tumors can be benign or malignant. Benign ones include osteochondroma and chondroma. Osteochondroma, as the name indicates, there is some cartilaginous cap on bony excrescence. And chondroma is circumscribed hyaline cartilage nodule in medulla. The malignant part is chondrosarcoma. Now coming to the bone forming tumors, the benign ones are osteoid osteoma and osteoblastoma. I will tell you the difference between these two in the next slides. The malignant one is osteosarcoma, other name is osteoid sarcoma. And tumors of unknown origin, benign ones are giant cell tumor which destroys the medulla and cortex and presents with sheets of osteoclasts. Aneurysmal bone cyst, it is also called ABC, aneurysmal bone cyst, and the malignant one is Ewing sarcoma, also known as round blue cell tumor. The location of these tumors is also important. Therefore, the correlation of histology with the radiology is extremely important. Osteoid osteoma arises in metaphysis. Osteosarcoma also arises in the metaphysis of distal femur and proximal tibia. Giant cell tumor is the tumor of epiphysis of bones. Ewing sarcoma arises in the diaphysis. Osteoma. Osteomas are bossylated round to oval sessile tumors that project from the subperiosteal surface of the cortex. They arise on or inside the skull and facial bones. They are usually solitary and detected in the middle age. Osteoma, lateral radiograph of the skull, and this is axial CT, and they demonstrate ossific nodule. This one is the ossific nodule, as you can see, arising from the outer table of the skull. Now coming to the histology, they consist of a composite of woven and lamellar bone that is frequently deposited in cortical pattern with eversion-like systems. Osteomas are slow-growing tumors of little clinical significance except when they become symptomatic and cause obstruction. This is their histological picture. They are composed of mixture of lamellar and woven bone. Now coming to osteoid osteomas and osteoblastoma. The main difference is in their sizes. Osteoid osteoma are by definition less than 2 cm in greater diameter and occur in teens and 20s. And they produce nocturnal pain which is relieved by aspirin. These are two important differentiating points. Their site of involvement is in femur or tibia, and they arise in cortex and less frequently in the medullary cavity. Osteoblastoma is also called giant osteoid osteoma, and it is larger than 2 cm and involves spine more frequently. Its pain is dull, achy and unresponsive to salicylates. These are the differentiating points between these two. And also the tumor does not induce a marked bony reaction. Radiographic picture of osteoid osteoma, there is a nidus with sclerosis around the margins. Affects long bones of the limbs and causes nocturnal pain relieved by NSAIDs or aspirin. Some of the differences which are important between osteoid osteoma and osteoblastoma, I have already told you the differences in the size. Osteoid osteoma is less than 2 cm, causes nocturnal pain which is relieved by aspirin or NSAID, and On radiography, it presents as radiolucent nidus surrounded by sclerosis. And recurrence with total resection is almost 0%. On the other hand, the size of osteoblastoma is greater than 2 cm. Pain has no definite time and it is not relieved by anything consistently. Radiographically, it presents as slowly growing expansile destructive lesion, and it has the tendency to transform into osteosarcoma, and it also has recurrence rate of 10%. This is the histological picture of osteoid osteoma, haphazardly interconnecting trabeculae of woven bone. These pinkish areas represent trabeculae of woven bone which are lined by osteoblasts. This line is the osteoblasts, lining by the osteoblasts, and center is composed of vascularized connective tissue. On radiography, intracortical osteoid osteoma, there is central mineralization, represents the lesion, and surrounded by the reactive bone, and the cortex has been markedly thickened. Osteosarcoma. Osteosarcoma is very important topic because mostly from bone you get short essay question regarding osteosarcoma. By definition, it is a malignant tumor that produces osteoid matrix or mineralized bone. It is the most common primary malignant tumor of the bone. This can be asked in multiple choice question. Another important point is it has bimodal age distribution. It occurs at two extremes of age. 75% occurs in person younger than 20 years of age. The second peak occurs in elderly. Its predisposing factors can also be asked. These are Paget's disease, exposure to radiation, chemotherapy, pre-existing benign bony lesion, germline and somatic mutations. They are referred to as secondary osteosarcomas, which occur due to these predisposing conditions are called secondary osteosarcomas. Major sites are distal part of femur and proximal part of tibia is involved in 50% of the cases. Other areas include pelvis, proximal humerus, and jaw. Sunburst pattern. Radiologically, the pattern which it produces is known as sunburst pattern, and it has a predilection for metaphyseal region of the long bones. Common sites are distal femur, proximal tibia, proximal humerus, and middle and proximal femur. Causes localized pain, and pain frequently begins after injury. Soft tissue mass can also be produced. Now coming to its pathogenesis, 70% of osteosarcomas have acquired genetic abnormalities such as complex structural and numerical chromosomal aberrations. RB. Germline mutation in RB gene is one of the factors. You are already familiar with P53. Patients with Lee-Fromenais syndrome who have germline mutation in P53 have greatly increased incidence of osteosarcoma and other abnormalities. CDKN2A. It is also inactivated in many osteosarcomas, and it encodes two tumor suppressor genes, P16 and P14. The fourth one is MDM2 and CDK4, which are also cell cycle regulators. Gross pathology. The pathology of osteosarcoma is frequently asked in your OSPE. You are given a picture of osteosarcoma and then you are asked about its gross features or its microscopic features, or you can be asked about its microscopic points, predisposing conditions, or its variants. Osteosarcomas are bulky tumors that are gritty, grey white, and contain areas of hemorrhage and cystic degeneration. They frequently destroy the surrounding cortices and produce soft tissue masses. They spread extensively in the medullary canal, infiltrating and replacing the marrow. They can also penetrate the epiphyseal plate or enter the joint. The arrow points towards elevation of the periosteum, which is produced by the tumor, and this is known as Codman triangle. Multiple choice question, you are given the hint of Codman triangle so that you can easily identify the tumor. Distal femoral osteosarcoma with prominent bone formation extending into the soft tissue. This is triangular shell of reactive bone known as Codman triangle. This picture you are frequently given in OSPE, and that you are asked to identify the tumor. This gray white tan area, this is the tumor, and it has extended in the surrounding soft tissue. It has infiltrated through the cortex, lifted the periosteum and formed soft tissue masses on both sides of the bone. The formation of osteoid matrix or mineralized bone by the malignant tumor cells is diagnostic of osteosarcoma. And this pattern is called lace-like pattern of osteoid. Lace-like configuration, but can also be deposited in broad sheets or primitive tuberculi. The tumor cells are pleomorphic and they have large hypochromatic nuclei. As you can see, there is lace-like pattern of osteoid deposition. This is the lace-like pattern produced by the osteoid, and these are the cells which are showing abnormal mitosis. You can appreciate the cells are pleomorphic, bizarre, and have prominent nucleoli. Bizarre tumor giant cells, vascular invasion and necrosis are common. Mitotic activity is high, including abnormal forms. The subtypes are important and they are grouped according to the site of origin, degree of differentiation, multicentricity, or they can be primary or secondary. It is treated with multiple modalities: neoadjuvant chemotherapy, surgery and chemotherapy. Neoadjuvant therapy is basically given before the surgery to reduce the size of the tumor. The amount of chemotherapy induced necrosis found at surgical resection is important prognostic finding. The aggressive tumors can spread via the blood to the lungs. Its variants are important. Arises in the metaphysis of the long bone and is primary, solitary, intramedullary and poorly differentiated. Various types are osteoblastic, chondroblastic, fibroblastic, telangiectatic, small cell and giant cell. This slide also shows the various variants of osteosarcoma. Please remember, you give the diagnosis of osteoid osteoma when the osteoid is seen unconnected with the cartilage and being formed directly from the tumor cells, no matter how much neoplastic cartilage or fibrous tissue is present elsewhere. This is the gross picture of well differentiated intramedullary osteosarcoma. This area shows intramedullary osteosarcoma. Other variants are juxtacortical. Infrequent variant occurs in older age group. Slow growing tumor arises in the metaphysis and its prognosis is good. Juxtacortical osteosarcoma. This is the gray white tan tumor, and this is the juxtacortical osteosarcoma. Periosteal osteosarcoma, small lucent lesion on the surface of long bones, and it has prominent cartilaginous component. Patient typically presents with swelling, pain, enlargement of the extremity or pathological fracture. Blood complete examination, alkaline phosphatase, C-reactive protein, alkaline phosphatase and lactate dehydrogenase. Diagnosis is made on X-ray. CT scan is done to detect the pulmonary mets, and bone scan is done to detect the bone mets. Immunohistochemistry, vimentin, keratin, EMA, and they are helpful in the diagnosis on histology. Thank you, class.